Good kid, bad theories.
You watch the NBA?
Yeah.
I know you watch the NBA.
Of course.
NBA is obviously struggling a lot right about now. What do you think the reason is for that? What do you think the reason is for the NBA struggling?
They clearly do not have a...
Well, let's let this person tell the story on why she thinks.
Oh, shit.
She said the cultural decline of the NBA will be studied for decades. You ain't got to study it for decades. I can tell you the answer right now. It's because they don't grow up poor no more. You ain't getting the kids that were playing for fun and was out there hooping and doing it to get away from their situations in the house. You're not getting those kids where they trying to make it out the hood. You ain't getting Kevin Durant. You ain't getting Michael Jordan. You ain't getting LeBron James no more. Everybody Jalen Brunson. And I am a hypocrite because my GOAT is Steph Curry. And I know that Dale Curry was his father. He's the exception, not the rule. The point of the matter is I'm biased, but everybody daddy played in the NBA. Everybody daddy played in the NBA. Everybody's coming up. Even Ja Morant was middle class. Everybody got some sort of bread. And not saying middle class is bread, but what I'm saying is they weren't eating oodles and noodles. They not hungry no more. They're not hungry. They're all associated with each other in some way. And that's why Stephen A gets so upset because he's like, I'm tired of the best friends and they best friends on the court. That's because they all grew up together because they all from rich backgrounds because all they daddies played in the NBA. Ain't no culture. They not hungry. They just going and do what they do to be a superstar and to get their name in the lights. They don't care about this game of basketball. I can tell you right now, you ain't got to study it for decades. We are watching a dilution of art in the NBA because nobody is Anthony Edwards. Like, you have those rare Anthony Edwards. Like, you have the rare, and I'm not saying everybody, but that's it.
That's not it.
I don't think... I think it's one of the problems, but I don't think it's the main problem.
I gotta tell you, I hate when people say that.
Yeah, I don't...
That annoys me so much.
Ignorant.
That is super ignorant.
Yeah.
Like, you being from the trenches is why the league is better, or not being from the trenches is why it's worse.
Motherfuckers from the trenches and still was cool motherfuckers. D Rose didn't have no issues. That nigga grew up in the slums of Chicago.
No, but what she's saying
the issue is she's saying that because like people aren't growing up in that environment, that the reason why that's why the product is bad. I can tell you why the product is bad.
It has nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to do with that. One, they don't have anybody to cover the league for after LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and that's really like that's really
honestly.
I would say that's
it's not even those three.
That's number one.
It's not even those three. It's LeBron and just LeBron.
Well, yes, and you know once he goes, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, they'll be covered in some kind of way because they'll wonder what when they retire next.
Yeah,
but that's the first problem.
That's when shit gonna start getting weird.
The second problem, which people do not talk about for whatever fucking reason, is the way that the league is covered.
Yep.
The way that you have that you have the league covered, having like Shaq and Charles Barkley and all them shit on the league. If they're shitting on the league, and these are the people that some people grew up watching, and they're shitting on the league, what makes you think they're gonna watch it? Right. The last thing, why do I have to pay NBA League Pass, Peacock, Amazon Prime, or what just TNT or whatever, just to watch a fucking game?
When it was never like that.
When it was NBA, it was NBA Wednesday, NBA Friday, NBA Saturday on ESPN, NBA on TNT Tuesday, NBA on TNT Thursday. That was it. And all of a sudden, we have all these fucking subscriptions to watch one game.
Yeah. And you also have to put blame on that on Adam Silver.
Yes.
Because, like, and that's the thing that frustrates me because we always wanted to, we don't have enough Anthony Edwards. I like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a great freaking basketball player.
Absolutely.
You guys have got to stop using that as an excuse. Like, Adam Silver is responsible for the league's progression. They're more concerned about sports betting than the actual caring of the league.
Yep. Right.
You literally have people throwing games and playing badly because of a parlay on them. You have, like, Jeremy Lin. I saw a video on Jeremy Lin. He said this. He said there was a game. He was going crazy. Got 20-something points. They pulled him instantly because someone in the audience gave the coach a look. And I guess it was like a CEO or investor or somebody. And they're like, we got to get him out of the game. And Jeremy Lin was like, why am I not playing? We're going to lose. They ended up losing the game, and they would not play him anymore.
That's why Terry Rozier's getting looked at like that. You think Terry
Chauncey Billups is literally going to civil court.
Yep.
And you're talking about Anthony Edwards?
Yep.
I don't understand.
Because you're
hold on. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You don't think Luka cares about the game? You don't think Wemby cares about the game?
Right.
You don't think that they care about the game? You think that the person's environment of how they grew up determines whether or not they care? There are people from the hood who did not make it out because they have poor discipline.
Yeah,
or the environments that they were around consumed them.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were on their way and then something happened in between. They passed away too young because they got caught in the crossfires or they got on drugs or something happened. You can't always say, oh, it's because everybody, that's why Stephen A is so mad. Stephen A is one of the core reasons when we go back to coverage. Stephen A don't even know half the stuff he's talking about. During the finals, they're not
even watching the games.
He was playing solitaire in the middle of the finals.
They're not even watching the games.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you give Stephen A the biggest piggy bank, and I'm not getting in the way of a black man getting his money. Get your money, bro. But it's just like, keeping it in a straight stack, you put him on every single segment. He doesn't know every single topic. So he's talking about things like the NFL, and he's ill-informed because he doesn't know what he's talking about. You get people who specifically cover that, so then you can be able to bring that coverage and that excitement back to the league. There's a reason why people resonate more with the JJ Redicks of the world when he used to do sports broadcasting, as opposed to Stephen A's, who don't like. Did we not just see Stephen A talk about I'm bigger than the Pelicans franchise?
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, man.
I mean,
this has nothing to do with how they were raised.
You also got to look at like this year, like the coverage has been better. Even though I don't like that there's multiple streaming avenues for the NBA, the coverage has been better in like Amazon Prime or even like NBC, for instance, because there's a level of nostalgia, which I also think that's part of her problem is the nostalgia thing. Yep. Because Gilbert Arenas isn't walking through that door. John Wall isn't walking through that door. Derrick Rose is walking through that door. Like some of the people, Allen Iverson is not walking through that door. Mm-hmm. Shaq is not walking through that door. Like these people that we've idolized over the years that came out of these elements, we're not going to see them like that. And I don't think it's a problem that we're not going to see something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, I wouldn't even go so far as to say like because they're not growing up in the hood, that means they're better in the league. That means they'll be better for the league because they're not like having to cultivate their talent over 4, 5, 6, 7 years of being in the league. They've gone to AAU. They've gone to all these basketball camps. They've done all this basketball growing up and not just picking up a basketball when they're 12 and they're like, well, I guess I'm gonna do this so I can try to make it out. There's not anything wrong with that. There's multiple things wrong with the league, but what she said as far as like the core problem, that's not the problem.
I also think it's just like there are a lot more foreign players now that are in the league.
Yeah.
But I think the whole structure of basketball is what? You put the ball in the hoop.
Correct.
That is the whole point of basketball. So if you have somebody like Wemby who has developed his game immensely through the summertime, the structure of the game and the love for the game shows on how they prepare themselves in the offseason and before they play. I don't understand how a person's upbringing means that it chooses their love for the game. The love for the game comes from whether or not you are passionate about the game. Mm-hmm. Because people do not grow up the same.
Correct.
Okay? So my passion for something is not going to be the same passion for someone, the same thing for someone down the street. You know what I'm saying? So
I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that, if I may, I think a lot of it also was we don't have the same like storylines as we used to, like when we were kids. Like remember back in the day, like when LeBron first went to Miami, what was the what was the main topic? Are they going to work together? Are they going to win a championship together? How many championships are they going to win together? Who is going to be their rival competitor out in the West? What do you hear right now as far as the league?
LeBron, when he retires.
Still.
Is he going to retire?
That is the only thing really you hear. Even though Oklahoma City's good, San Antonio's on the rise, Denver still has Nikola Jokic. Detroit is hooping.
Yeah.
Hooping. Remember, they only won not even 30 games 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden they're first in the East.
Over Boston.
Over Boston. Jason Tatum just came back this weekend.
Yeah.
Still, it's about when is LeBron going to retire? Is LeBron going to leave the Lakers?
Everybody nervous.
Is LeBron going to? And that's a real thing.
Because the whole narrative around the league for the longest was based around two people, LeBron and Michael Jordan. Which is why a lot of times Laker fans have an issue with LeBron because LeBron's starlight kind of overshadowed Kobe. I'm not saying Kobe isn't important, but it's just a lot of people were like, ooh, who is this 18-year-old out of, you know what I'm saying? He's the chosen one. He's the chosen, you know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, we have a prime Kobe. A lot of people were like, you know what I'm saying? And then they're just kind of focusing in on this. You know what I'm saying? So the whole narrative has always been LeBron versus Jordan. And then it turns into this, oh, well, now we have to talk bad about everybody that's not Michael Jordan. And now it destroys kind of the legacy of the game. Michael Jordan could never exist and basketball would still be basketball. And what that goes back to what I was saying. I remember what I was saying is this when a person is dedicated, it shows up in their work. So you can grow up in an environment, a rich environment, and not care about winning. You can also grow up in the hood and not care about winning. It's all about a mindset because there are some people that are like, this is the best that I got right here. You got niggas, bro, that are like, this is it right here. This is it. I'm not leaving. This is it. You know what I'm saying? And they could be some of the most talented people that you will ever meet in your life.
Right.
And a lot of times they are not going to, they themselves stop themselves. LeVar Ball said it. He said, I knew dudes in the hood that were better than Michael Jordan, but they just weren't disciplined. So they never got an opportunity. And then they fell into gang violence. They fell into this. They fell into that. I think it's a disservice to the talent that we have in this league right now when that's the only thing that you're going off of. And then people are like, well, that's why we got to ride with Anthony Edwards. You guys are romanticizing this dude. You don't know this nigga, bro.
Right.
Plus, he already said that he doesn't want to be the face of the league.
You don't know this dude, bro. You don't know this man.
I think the other problem, too, is I think the NBA doesn't want to make the face of the league like a foreign player.
Yeah, I was going to think.
I really do think
hard
that.
To make this
but the
the
problem is when LeBron goes, I think their face of the league is either going to be Luka because Luka's in LA, prime time, or it has to be Wemby.
Has to be Wemby.
It has to be Wemby.
Has to be Wemby. It has to be. I don't know, man. I don't think you coming from an environment. I think, okay, well, I'll say this. I do believe that it could change your mindset when it comes to certain things. I did not grow up in the hood, but I'll say hood adjacent. So it's just I've been around these environments. I have family that are from these environments. I currently live in these environments. And so my whole thing is like this. Okay. Doflamingo and One Piece said, children who have never known peace and children who have only known war, they have two different values. No, excuse me. Children who have only known peace and children who have only known war, they have two different values, right? So a child in Palestine, where they're dropping bombs over their head, their thing is what I want from Christmas, I just want to live. I just want my brother alive again. I just want my freaking arm that got blown off. But you have a kid who grows up in Beverly Hills, not trying to take aim at anybody, but you have a Nepo kid, freaking, Blue Ivy, please don't get me. But Blue Ivy, her values in life is not the same as a kid that's trying to survive in Palestine.
Right.
That doesn't mean that one is more important than the other, but it's just but a child who grows up in an environment where they don't have to worry about looking over their shoulder, they're going to view the world differently.
Yeah.
So with me, I view things differently. It's like I've been in those, like, I haven't been in the cut, but I've been around a couple of, like, really, I didn't know what brunch was until 2014, 2015. I was around like some gay white dudes. And they were like, they had a whole talent agency and they're just like, you know, oh, we're brunch. I said, what is that? What's brunch? You don't know what brunch is? You don't know? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, and I wasn't raised in an environment where stuff like that was talked about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was called a faggot for crying. You think that I'm gonna like prioritize like brunch?
Right. Brunch.
I don't know. Like, for me, it's just like the mindsets is like, but at the end of the day, what doesn't change is the work. Now, do you get more opportunities? Yeah, you probably do. Like a person who, like Bronny James or Carmelo Anthony's kid, or, you know, Steph Curry, they've had opportunities that they probably were like, okay, you got a more easier route to, you know, to show your skill based off of the connections of your father. However, you also have these people over here that are very good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yes, the opportunities are different, but it's just like, if you want to sit up here and like, the main reason why the NBA is declining is Adam Silver. It's not because of a person's zip code. Please grow up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You heard it here first, nigga.
Yeah. I mean, the NBA has been declining for a while now. And there's multiple issues that we've already expressed. And if you think it's about somebody's zip code, then you probably are doing yourself a disservice because you're probably also part of the problem as to why it's declining, if that's what you think.
Good kid, bad theories.